Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. My name is Julian, and this is another exciting episode. I am reviewing mock drafts. Once again, this is mock draft review part 2. Now, guys, obviously, I'm not in my studio. I really thought that I would be by the time this next episode rolled around. However, it'll be one more, at least, not in the studio, unfortunately. But I will be back soon, so hopefully I can get the sound quality a little bit better this time. Without further ado, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do so. Trying to hit 6,000 subscribers. That'd be an awesome milestone to hit before even the season starts, maybe. We'll see, maybe the first few weeks of the season. That would be amazing. And like this video if you haven't already. Let's jump into it now, and let's start with our first mock draft. Now, guys, I want you to know that I just picked randomly through the comments, so if I didn't review your draft, I'm really sorry. I am going to be doing one more of these videos, so I'm going to do 6 more reviews. So hopefully I'm able to cover your team. If not, guys, don't worry. I'll definitely try to respond to as many comments as I can before the season starts. Looks like an 18 points league, so not a lot of people in this league, so you should be getting some pretty good players. With forward and utility spots, so no specific positions for forwards. So that's pretty easy pool for beginners for sure. That's what it seems like. So at number 6, you pick Cale Makar, which seems a little bit early for Makar, but you are getting the best defenseman available in the draft, so why not? At 11, you got Nikita Kucherov, which is crazy that he dropped that far, honestly. Rasmus Dahlin at 22 is a tad early, but I do still like that pick. You're getting yourself the 3rd best defenseman in the draft. William Nylander at 27 is okay. Charlie McAvoy at 38 is a little bit early. Fiala at 43 is pretty good. Kyle Connor at 54 is pretty good. Saros at 59, I like that. Logan Thompson at 70 is way too early. He's going way later in most drafts. Dylan Larkin at 75, I like that as well. Ovechkin at 86, Buchnevich 91, Gaudreau, followed by Kopitar, Forsberg, Beniers. Ben I don't love, but you've got him pretty late, so it may be a decent pick. Ehlers love that pick. Vander Kane love that pick. Matthias Michelli, Sam Bennett, I love that pick. Brock Besser and Seth Jones, you got him pretty late. Usually he's going a lot earlier, so that's actually pretty good value you got in Seth Jones there. I like that. And then finally, Nazem Kadri, Jared Spurgeon, and Braden Shen. Overall, there's some pretty good picks. You did pick a lot of guys a little bit earlier than you had to, but still a pretty solid draft overall. Would definitely give this a 7.5 on 10. On the other hand, you got a 20-man head-to-head points league where he drafted 18th. This is submitted by Luke Muir 473. So he got Stützle with his first pick at 18th. Sucks that you're only picking 18th, but Stützle should do pretty well this year. Dahlin, obviously, is the 3rd best defenseman in my opinion. If Yossi was available, I would have taken him over Dahlin at that point, but still not a terrible pick. Tavares at 58 is good. Hyman at 63. Gaudreau at 98. I'm not super high on Gaudreau, but you got him relatively late, so I don't absolutely hate that. Brent Burns at 103 is a decent pick. Josh Norris at 138 seems like you kind of reached for him because he's going really, really late in drafts, but I think he's going to have a bounce back year, so that should be all right. Forsling at 143 is decent. Raquel 178 is decent if he does keep that top power play when Gensel comes back. And then Power, I don't love this year. I can't say I do. He still doesn't have top power play. Cam Talbot at 218. So if you draft Cam Talbot, you also have to be drafting Phoenix Copley because they're going to be splitting starts 50-50. So let's see if he did end up drafting Copley. If he did, that's not bad at all. Schmid at 223. Why? He's a backup goalie right now, and unless you have Vanacek, there's no reason to draft Schmid. Wyatt Johnston, that's all right that late in the draft. It's a good gamble. Jarvis is okay. Eklund's a decent gamble as well. Justin Schultz, I don't like that. Just get rid of him. Yeah, so if Copley's available, swap out Justin Schultz for him, and then you'll have all of the LA Kings starts. Hopefully Copley's still available for you. Overall, though, I really don't like this draft. Your goalies are incredibly weak, and you pick some guys a little bit too early. So I'd probably give this draft a 6.5 on 10. Definitely, you still can be competitive. Just, stay on top of my waiver wire videos and make sure that you stay active. All right, third, we got Nate Dogg Gaming within a 12-man league where you got Pasternak 3rd overall, followed by Zibanejad 22nd overall, which is decent. I have him ranked 26th overall, so reaching for him a little bit's okay. Stützle at 27th. Stützle at 27th is pretty great. Hamilton 45 is not bad as long as he does not get overtaken on that top power play. Svechnikov, if you want to like that. Bouchard at 70, I like that. Verhaeghe at 75, I really like that. Barkov at 94, that's absolutely insane. I don't know what kind of league you're in that let Barkov drop that far, but that's absolutely crazy. Carlson at 99, he's one of my absolute favorite picks in any draft, so definitely that's an amazing pick right there. Schmid, I don't know why he's being picked so much. He's a backup goalie right now in New Jersey, and I understand that there's definitely a chance that he overtakes Vanecek as the starter, and maybe even starts 1 out of 3 games to start. But if you don't have Vanecek, drafting Schmid just seems silly to me. Anyway, then he's got Filip Forsberg, which is a great pick, followed by Adin Hill, which is a good pick, but I think you should also be drafting Logan Thompson if you take Adin Hill, because I think you're going to be splitting pretty evenly. Joseph Woll at 147. I don't see the point of drafting Woll if you don't have Samsonov, but anyway, he'll be riding your bench a lot. Werenski at 166, Mercer at 171, and Kadri at 190. I like those last 3 picks. I think they'll all do very well. He gives a reasoning for why he took Pasta third, but I just can't reason that. There's really no good reasoning for drafting Pastrnak over McKinnon and Matthews. The only really good one to me would be that they're a little bit more injury prone than Pastrnak is, because Pastrnak is not going to be as great this year. There's definitely going to be a bit of a decline, but Matthews is only going to get better than he was last year, and McKinnon is just elite. So overall, I don't love drafting Pastrnak third, but that's obviously not the worst decision in the world. I'd probably still give this draft a solid 7.5, almost an 8 on 10. There's a couple of bizarre picks, but overall, it's a pretty good draft, especially since you got Barkov so late. The next submission is by D434, and he drafted 11th overall. You got Tage Thompson 11th overall, which is a decent pick in my opinion. If you could have gotten Pettersson, I probably would have gone Pettersson, but I definitely don't think Thompson's a bad pick. Vasilevsky's an awful pick because he's going to be missing for the first 2 months of the season, so hopefully you did that draft before Vasilevsky was injured, but that's why you wait. That's why you wait till a few days before the season starts before you do your drafts, guys. That's so important, because then you end up drafting someone like this who's at 2 months, and it's completely unfair for you because you thought he was going to be healthy. So that's why you really just got to wait. Panarin's an awful pick. I'm sorry. He shouldn't be going that high. I don't like Panarin for fantasy. He doesn't shoot enough. He's a great player, but he's not that great for fantasy. He should not be going 3rd round. Jack Eichel's a very good pick. Hedman is a huge gamble. If he gets power play 1, you got an absolute steal there in the 5th round. If he doesn't, he's going to be a huge bust in all likelihood. PLD, that should be okay. I don't know how big your league is, so I'm not sure if you're drafting him early or not. Devon Toews, he's usually going around 100, so I assume that that's where you're at this point. And Devon Toews is definitely not a bad pick. Matty Beniers, you're picking him way too early. I'm sorry. Seattle was super inflated overall shooting last year, and as good as Beniers was, I can't expect him to do that much better than last year, which is why this is just way too early. Stuart Skinner as your second goalie, well, first because Vasilevsky's injured for so long. I don't mind that. There's definitely still going to be starting Campbell a little bit, but Stuart Skinner is probably the guy over there. Luke Hughes is an interesting pick that early. He's going to have to overtake Dougie Hamilton to have a little bit of fantasy value. If not, maybe they'll both pick power play 1, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So Luke Hughes is definitely going to have to establish himself to return that kind of value. Don't love that pick. Jacob Trouba at 11, I actually really do like that pick. He's a guy with a very safe floor, has a lot of peripherals, so I like that. Tyler Bertuzzi is another guy who I like this year, playing with Marner and Matthews. You can't really go wrong there. Seth Jarvis is someone has yet to really establish himself as a valuable fantasy player, but he's definitely still going to get top 6 time, and as of right now, it looks like he's going to get top power play time, so this might be a year where he can get a breakout. I don't mind that late in your draft. Dawson Mercer is a great pick late in your draft. Chandler Stevenson is another great pick late in your draft, and Mason McTavish as an absolute flyer dart pick to see if maybe he breaks out this year. I don't mind that. All right, the next one's submitted by Nick Tussle in a 14-man league with 5 keepers, and it's a bangers league. So it looks like your keepers were Larkin, Eriksson Ek, Chris Kreider, Patrick Laine, and Jordan Kyrou, and Tom Wilson. Sorry, those weren't your keepers. Those are just some of your picks. You didn't tell me what order you picked them in. But anyway, let's take a look at who else you picked. Moritz Seider, Miro Heiskanen, Makar, Hamilton, Frederik Andersen, Stuart Skinner, Benchmark, Stone, Darnell Nurse, Lawson Krause, Jack Campbell. It's a 14-man league, so it's not a tiny league. There's definitely some good value guys in here. I'm not sure where you ended up getting them, but there's definitely some great players in there. Like Laine is someone who can have a huge year if he doesn't get injured. Tom Wilson, if there's hits, I like that. Heiskanen, Makar, Dougie Hamilton, and Moritz Seider, your defense are absolutely stacked. That's really where the value of your team kind of lies. Frederik Andersen, hopefully he doesn't get injured this year. He's very injury prone. And Stuart Skinner, hopefully he's a starter. But you did get Jack Campbell just in case. So I do like that. You're guaranteed all the starts in Edmonton, who are a pretty good team this year. Overall, this is a pretty good team, and I would probably rate this an 8 on 10 or so. But it's hard to tell because I don't know where you drafted everybody because you didn't tell me. And finally, this last one submitted by Fadez. This is a 10-team Yahoo Banger League. So hits and blocks are going to be important in this one as it is a banger league. So at 10th overall, his first pick, he got Brady Tkachuk, which is an excellent pick in a bangers league because the dude shoots and hits like a crazy amount. That's going to be a great pick, probably going to be a top 10 player for sure in that bangers league. Then we got Igor Shesterkin. You know how I feel about drafting goalies early. Shesterkin's great, but I can't justify it to myself to grab a goalie that early. Roman Josi is a great pick. Dylan Larkin is a little early there. Miro Heiskanen is a good pick, 5th round. Rupe Hintz is good, 6th round. Evander Kane is good, 7th round. I don't know what you were doing drafting Larkin that early. Maybe you're a Red Wings fan, but that's just insanely early. But anyway, Kevin Fiala at 8, Philip Forsberg at 9. All good picks so far. Noah Dobson at 10. It's a good, solid defenseman you got there. Jacob Markstrom is good. That's your second goalie off the board, and you got him relatively late. I do think he's going to bounce back this year, and if he does, you're in for a nice treat there. Valeri Nichushkin, you know I love him this year. Drake Batherson, I love him this year. Brandon Montour, 14th round, is good value. He's probably going to be out a couple months, but once he comes back, your team's going to be amazing. Then you got Troy Terry, Trevor Zegras, a couple of Ducks there, a little risky, but hopefully your league doesn't value plus minus too highly. But I do expect them both to have nice years. Mark Scheifele, 17th round, is a good value. Shane Gostisbehere, absolutely hate that, as if he doesn't play power play 1, which doesn't look like he's going to, he has basically no value. You saw that last year on Carolina. And that's it for that team. Overall, though, pretty good draft in there. I'll give that for sure an 8.5 on 10. Very well done. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching my draft review video today. If I didn't get to review your draft, there's still one more chance. I'm redoing one more video of these before the season starts, guys, so definitely tune in for that. Otherwise, I'll be trying to answer as many comments as I can for the drafts that I didn't quite get to. Please leave a like, guys, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.